The more comfortable you become, the weaker your mind grows. Because strength is never born in comfort, it's born in discomfort. Think about a seed. It lies buried in the dark soil, suffocating, surrounded by pressure. If the seed could speak, it would probably say, why am I trapped here? But that very darkness, that discomfort, is what pushes it to grow, to break open, to reach the light. Without that pressure, the seed would stay a seed forever. The same law applies to your life. Without challenges, without discomfort, you stay where you are. You might look fine from the outside, but inside, you're shrinking. When life gets easy, you stop evolving. You stop questioning yourself. You stop pushing your limits. Comfort feels peaceful, but it breeds stagnation. It convinces you that this little bubble of safety is enough. But deep down, you know it isn't. Because your soul was never designed for comfort. It was designed for growth. And growth always asks for pain. Every great transformation in your life has started with discomfort. The day you decided to face your fear, the day you walked away from what no longer served you, the day you took a step into the unknown, none of those moments were comfortable. They were terrifying, but they were also powerful. Because you cannot grow stronger by staying where you feel safe. Comfort says, rest here. Growth says, rise again. Comfort whispers, you've done enough. Growth shouts, you can do more. And the truth is, every time you choose growth, you're going to feel pain. Because you're stepping into uncertainty, into the stretch of becoming more than what you were. That stretch, that burning discomfort, that's where your power is forged. Look at your life. The times you were most alive were never the times you were comfortable. It was when you were nervous before a big change, when you had to prove yourself, when you were afraid but went forward anyway. That's when your heart beat stronger, your mind became sharper, and your faith deepened. Comfort never gave you that. Comfort only gives you temporary ease. Discomfort gives you lasting transformation. So if you feel uncomfortable right now, if life is challenging you, if things aren't going smoothly, maybe that's not something to escape from. Maybe that's a sign that you're growing. Because comfort doesn't create warriors. It doesn't create leaders. It doesn't create wisdom. Pain does. Pressure does. Struggle does. Stop asking for an easier life. Ask for a stronger mind. Ask for a deeper spirit. Ask for the courage to step out of your comfort zone and face the lessons waiting for you. Because the truth is, your comfort zone might feel like safety, but it's actually a cage. And every time you choose comfort over challenge, you lock yourself inside that cage a little tighter. So, when life gives you moments of discomfort, don't curse them. Thank them. Because that's life giving you a chance to grow. That's life saying, you're ready for more. Thus, the pain you feel when you stretch yourself is not punishment. It's proof that you're alive, that you're evolving, that you're becoming someone you were always meant to be. Comfort is easy, but growth is divine. Pain teaches you something that no book, no teacher, no motivational quote can ever teach. Fair self-control. Because when you're in pain, every emotion inside you wants to explode. You want to scream, cry, react, blame, fight back, run away. Pain makes you feel out of control. But that's exactly where true control begins. You see, self-control is not built in peaceful moments. It's built in storms. It's not built when everything goes your way. It's built when nothing does. When you're angry and you want to shout, but you choose silence, that's strength. When you're hurt and you want revenge, but you choose forgiveness, that's power. When you're afraid and want to quit, but you choose to stay, that's mastery. Self-control is not about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering your reactions. It's about standing in the fire and not letting it burn your character. Most people think strength is about how loud you can be, how much you can fight back, how quickly you can prove a point. But real strength is quiet. It's invisible. It's in the moments where you could react, but you choose peace. Where you could explode, but you breathe. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's the kind of strength pain teaches you. The strength to stay centered, even when life tries to pull you apart. Every painful moment in your life is like a test. Life is watching, will you lose yourself in this moment, or will you rise above it? Every time you choose patience over impulse, you are building a wall of resilience around your mind. You are teaching yourself that emotions don't control you, or you control them. And that realization changes everything. Because once you master your inner reactions, the outer world can no longer break you. Pain has this strange beauty. It slows you down. It forces you to reflect. It shows you what's happening inside you. It reveals your triggers, your insecurities, your hidden wounds. When you pay attention to your pain, it becomes a mirror. You begin to see which parts of you still need healing, which parts of you are still fragile, which parts of you are still reacting instead of responding. That awareness, that's where growth begins. Think about it. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. Anyone can smile when everything works. But who you truly are is revealed when life gets hard. When someone disrespects you. When you're misunderstood. When you're betrayed. Those moments, they are not just painful, they are as sacred. Because they give you the chance to practice self-control. They give you a chance to grow into a wiser version of yourself. And here's something most people miss. Self-control doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel everything, but you don't let those feelings dictate your actions. You still hurt, but you don't hurt others. You still cry, but you don't give up. You still get angry, but you choose kindness. That's not being numb. That's being powerful. Pain invites you to make a choice. You can either let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. And the only thing that decides which one it will be is your response. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. That's where your freedom is. That's where your peace is. So the next time pain visits you, don't fight it, don't run from it. Watch it, feel it, and ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me about myself? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's teaching you humility. Maybe it's teaching you to trust yourself. Because pain doesn't come to destroy your peace. It comes to build it, one controlled breath at a time. Remember this, strength is not in the reaction, it's in the restraint. And the more you practice that restraint, the more mentally unshakable you become. That's the hidden gift of pain. It breaks your ego but builds your character. It teaches you that peace is not found in avoiding chaos, but in mastering yourself within it. Resilience, such a powerful word, yet most people never truly understand what it means until life breaks them a little. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Slowly, painfully, brick by brick, heartbreak by heartbreak, failure by failure. You don't wake up one day with resilience. You've earned it through the battles you never thought you'd survive. Every time life knocks you down and you rise again, a part of your soul hardens, not in bitterness but in strength. Resilience isn't about pretending you're fine when you're not. It's not about forcing a smile while you're bleeding inside. It's about standing in the middle of your storm and saying, I may bend, but I will not break. It's the art of recovery. It's the invisible force that whispers, try again, when everything inside you screams, I can't. That's resilience. The quiet decision to keep going when giving up feels easier. Think about your own life for a moment. Remember the times when you thought you wouldn't make it. When the pain was so deep, it felt unbearable, and yet here you are, breathing, standing, healing. You may have scars, but those scars are your medals of survival. Each one tells a story of how you were tested and how you grew stronger because of it. Resilience is built in those moments when no one's watching. When you cry alone at night, wipe your tears, and get up anyway. When everything in you is exhausted, but you still choose to take one more step, it's built in silence, in the small acts of courage that no one claps for. Because resilience doesn't seek applause, it seeks growth, it seeks endurance. Life will test you, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. It will strip away your comforts, your plans, even your sense of control. And when it does, you'll face a choice, either collapse under the weight or rise with it. And that's the moment resilience is born. It's born when you say, this pain will not define me. It's born when you choose to see pain as a chapter, not the whole story. There will be days when you'll feel like you're breaking apart. Days when hope seems distant. But resilience isn't about avoiding those days. It's about surviving them. It's about allowing yourself to fall apart, but not stay there. It's about crying when you must, but still showing up for your life the next morning. Because strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet act of breathing through the pain, whispering to yourself, I will not give up. And here's the truth. Resilience doesn't erase pain, it transforms it. It takes your suffering and molds it into wisdom. It takes your heartbreak and molds it into empathy. It takes your failures and molds them into lessons. Every challenge life gives you is secretly a training ground for your spirit. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. The strongest people you've ever met are not the ones who've had it easy. They're the ones who've been broken, yet refuse to stay broken. They faced rejection, loss, betrayal. But instead of letting those things harden them into bitterness, they let them shape them into wisdom. They learned that resilience isn't about never falling. It's about always getting up differently, more aware, more grounded, more awake. Life doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. You stop fearing the storms because you realize you've already survived worse. You stop running from the pain because you understand pain comes, but so does healing. You start trusting that every time you fall, you'll rise higher than before. And that trust, that quiet faith in your own strength, that's the foundation of resilience. So when life tests you again, and it will, remember this: the fall doesn't define you, the rise does. The pain doesn't break you, it builds you. You are far more unshakable than you realize, because resilience is not a gift given by life. It's a fire you build inside yourself, one painful, powerful moment at a time. Pain has a strange way of revealing truth. It's not pretty, it's not gentle, but it's real. When life hurts, when something breaks inside you, when everything you thought was certain suddenly collapses, that's when you begin to see what truly matters. Because pain strips away the noise. It strips away the things you thought were important, but never were. It takes away the superficial, and it leaves behind the essence, What's real, what's pure, what's meaningful. You see, when everything's going right, it's easy to get lost. You chase things that sparkle, not things that sustain you. You run after validation, after status, after pleasure, thinking these will give you peace. But when pain comes, it tears those illusions apart. Suddenly, you realize that peace was never in those things. It was in simplicity, in love, in truth, in people who stand beside you when the world doesn't. Pain humbles you. It breaks the walls of ego and pride that you didn't even know you had built. It forces you to look inward and ask, what am I really living for? And sometimes it's in those broken moments that you find your deepest clarity. You stop caring about how you look to the world and start caring about what you truly feel inside. Because when you've lost enough, you understand life isn't about more, it's about meaning. Think about it. When you're happy, you celebrate. But when you're in pain, you grow. Pain makes you question things you once took for granted. The friend who calls to check on you. The parent who silently prays for you. The small act of kindness that makes your day a little lighter. These things, the ones we often overlook, become the most valuable treasures when you're hurting. When you lose something or someone, pain teaches you the language of appreciation. You learn to value moments over money, presence over performance, connection over convenience. You stop chasing people who don't care, and you start cherishing the few who genuinely do. Because pain opens your eyes, and once they're open, you can't unsee what's real. There's a kind of clarity that only pain can give. It's the kind that whispers, you are focusing on the wrong things. It shows you that your worth isn't tied to achievement, that love isn't about perfection, that peace isn't found in control. It reminds you that life is fragile, unpredictable, and precious, and that every second of it matters. Pain also teaches empathy. When you've been through darkness, you begin to recognize it in others. You start noticing the silent battles behind someone's smile, the heaviness in someone's laughter, and suddenly you become kinder, not because life became easier, but because you've learned how hard it can be. Pain deepens your heart. It stretches your capacity to understand, to forgive, to love without expectation. There's something sacred about pain. It's the universe's way of reshaping your priorities. It removes what you don't need, even when you cling to it. It takes people, situations, illusions. And though it hurts, it's making space. Space for something better, something truer, something meant for you. The things that truly matter will survive your pain. Everything else will fall away. And maybe that's the point. Maybe pain isn't here to punish us, but to purify us, to remind us of what's real. Because when you're stripped of everything, when you're raw and vulnerable, that's when you finally see the beauty of small things. A breath of peace, a word of kindness, a moment of stillness. Those become enough. So if you're hurting right now, don't run from it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Let it teach you what comfort never could. Let it show you who really loves you. Let it reveal what truly matters to you. Because one day you'll look back and realize that pain didn't just break you, it awakened you. It opened your eyes to the truth that happiness was never about having everything. It was about appreciating the few things that mean everything. There's something extraordinary that happens when you go through pain. It doesn't just change you, it connects you. You see, the pain you carried, the heartbreak you've endured, the battles you've fought in silence, they don't just belong to you. They become a bridge between you and others who are struggling too. Because when you finally start to heal, when you start to rise from what once broke you, you realize something beautiful. Your pain can become someone else's light. Every scar you carry holds a story, and stories they heal, not just you, but those who hear them. Sometimes, someone out there is sitting in darkness, feeling like no one could possibly understand their pain. And then they hear your story, your honesty, your vulnerability, your truth, and suddenly they realize they're not alone. That's the power of pain when it's transformed into wisdom. It becomes a gift, not a curse. But this transformation doesn't happen immediately. In the beginning, your pain feels too raw to touch. You hide it, you cover it up, you pretend it doesn't exist. And that's okay. Healing takes time. But slowly, as you grow stronger, you begin to see that your pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken compassion within you, a compassion you could never learn from comfort. Because when you've been through suffering, you understand suffering. You don't judge it, you recognize it. You start to see it in the eyes of others, and you know exactly what that silence means, what that forced smile hides. Pain gives you the eyes to see people. Not just look at them, but truly see them. You stop asking, "What's wrong with you?" and start asking, "What happened to you?" That shift, that simple shift, is where empathy lives. It's what turns ordinary people into healers, into guides, into sources of strength. You begin to help not from superiority, but from understanding. You're not trying to fix anyone, you're simply standing beside them and saying, "I've been there too." And the beauty is, your pain doesn't need to be fully gone for it to help others. In fact, it's your healing in progress that inspires. Because it shows others that healing is possible. That wounds don't have to define you, they can refine you. You become living proof that broken things can still be beautiful, that cracked hearts can still shine light. Your pain also becomes your purpose. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning, for direction, but often your purpose is hidden inside your pain. The things that hurt you the most are the very things you were meant to help heal in others. Someone who grew up feeling unseen becomes the person who makes others feel seen. Someone who was betrayed learns how to teach trust. Someone who lost everything learns how to teach gratitude. The darkness you walked through prepares you to be a light in that same darkness for someone else. Think about the most inspiring people you know. Those who speak with depth, with wisdom, with peace. They've all been through something. Their calmness was carved by chaos. Their strength was born in sorrow. Their kindness was molded by their own tears. You can feel it when they speak. Their words don't come from books. They come from wounds that have healed into wisdom. That's what makes their presence powerful. Pain also teaches you how to love differently. Before pain, love is easy. It's emotional, impulsive, sometimes even shallow. But after pain, love becomes deeper. You learn to love without expecting, to care without control, to give without fear. Because pain teaches you that everything you have is temporary, and that makes you cherish people more. You hold them softer. You listen more. You forgive faster. Because you know how it feels to lose. So maybe your pain isn't meaningless. Maybe it's molding you into someone who can bring light to others, still trapped in the darkness you once lived in. Maybe the reason you've been through so much is so you can reach people that no one else can reach. Because you understand, one day someone will look at you and say, "Because of you, I didn't give up." And in that moment, you'll realize every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you thought you were breaking was worth it because your pain became your purpose. So don't hide your scars. Don't be ashamed of your story. Your wounds are not your weakness, they are your witness. They testify to your survival. And if you let them, they will light the path for someone who's still lost. That's how your pain becomes sacred. When you stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start saying, maybe this happened is for me, so I can help someone else find their way out too. Discomfort is the birthplace of discipline. It's the ground where strength grows quietly, without applause, without anyone watching. Every great thing you want in life, health, success, peace, mastery, demands a price. And that price is discomfort. The truth is, you will never build a strong mind, a powerful body, or a peaceful soul if you always choose what feels good in the moment. Discipline is not born from motivation. It's born from the willingness to face discomfort every single day, even when you don't feel like it. When you wake up early in the morning and your body begs you to stay in bed, that's a moment of truth. That tiny moment, that silent battle, is where discipline either dies or grows. If you give in, comfort wins, and you remain the same. But if you push through, if you rise despite the resistance, you start to build something inside that's far greater than energy. It's a character. Discipline is not about punishing yourself, it's about training yourself. Training your mind to obey your purpose, not your mood. Discomfort is life's natural filter. It separates those who want from those who will. Everyone says they want success, strength, happiness, but few are willing to endure the discomfort that comes with earning it. Because let's be honest, waking up early hurts. Saying no to distractions hurts. Staying consistent when no one's noticing hurts. But that's exactly what shapes your mind into steel. Every time you choose the hard thing, you make it easier to choose it next time. Slowly, discomfort stops feeling like pain. It starts feeling like progress. And the truth is, discipline isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in small, silent moments. It's built in your daily decisions. The ones that seem insignificant, but shape everything. It's built when you choose to study instead of scroll. When you choose water instead of sugar. When you choose patience instead of anger. Discipline is choosing long-term peace over short-term pleasure. It's saying, I will do what's right, not what's easy. As most people wait to feel ready before they act, but discipline is doing it before you feel ready. It's acting even when every cell in your body wants to stop. That's why discomfort is so powerful. It trains you to act beyond emotion. And that's freedom. Because once you stop being controlled by how you feel, you become unstoppable. The one who can work without motivation, who can stay calm in chaos, who can move forward in fear. That person can't be broken easily. Discomfort also humbles you. It reminds you that greatness requires effort. That mastery is built over time, through repetition, through patience, through struggle. When you challenge yourself to do something difficult every day, whether it's exercise, meditation, or resisting an old habit, you are not just training your body, you are rewiring your brain. You're teaching it that pain is not danger. Pain is growth. You stop running from resistance and start welcoming it. But you know what's even more powerful? The way discipline built through discomfort affects every part of your life. When you learn to push yourself in one area, that strength spills into others. The same focus you use to control your diet helps you control your anger. The same patience you use To build your business helps you heal your relationships. Discipline is not limited to one domain. It becomes a lifestyle, a quiet force that keeps you grounded when everything else feels chaotic. Still, discipline doesn't mean perfection. You will fall, you will fail, you will slip back into old habits sometimes. But true discipline isn't about never falling. It's about rising quicker every time you do. It's about forgiving yourself, learning, and moving forward again with even more determination. Discomfort will test you over and over, but that's how it builds resilience. And here's the secret: over time, the pain of discipline becomes lighter, but the pain of regret becomes heavier. The small discomforts you face daily, waking early, staying focused, saying no to temptations, they may feel like sacrifices today, but they will feel like freedom tomorrow. Whereas the comfort you choose today, sleeping in, giving up, staying safe, will feel like chains later. So if you ever find yourself in a moment of struggle, when your mind screams, "Ve, I can't do this anymore," remember, that's the very moment you're building your strength. That's the rep your brain needs to grow. Discipline isn't built in the easy part of the workout. It's built in the last few painful seconds when you want to stop, but you don't. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your mentor. It's there to train you, to sharpen you, to prepare you for the weight of your own potential. Because one day, when life throws something bigger your way, you'll realize that all those small, uncomfortable moments were preparing you. You'll face challenges that would break others, but you'll stand firm, calm, steady, focused, because you've already learned how to suffer without surrendering. So the next time you're faced with something hard, don't run from it. Smile at it, step into it, because every moment of discomfort you embrace is shaping you into someone capable of handling everything you once thought you couldn't. And that's the quiet power of discipline. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary souls. You know, sometimes pain doesn't just visit you once, it stays, it lingers, it breathes